and welcome back. It's Lisa from Critters'n Ink Designs in Ontario, Canada. And I'm just going to do a little quick video. We were wrapping gifts this morning for our kids and realized that I hadn't made any tags. So I'm just going to quickly wing it and use up some of the Christmas ephemera packs that I have, and I have many. And I'm just going to make little cards. So let me grab my, I just went blank. I don't even know what this is called. My Simply Scored. And I'm winging it. And I'm going to, let me pull this down. I'm going to score this at 3 and 9. Is that right? Yeah, 3 and 9. So you could use your trimmer as well. Why not? And then I'm going to grab my trimmer. And I'm going to cut this at 6 inches. So I've got my 2 score lines here, and I'm going to cut this at 6 inches. Then, now you could put the two together, but I think you get a nicer cut if you just do one at a time. So I'm now going to cut these every 3 inches. So I'm going to cut it at 3. So every 3 inches. And what this is going to give you is a 3 by 3 little note card. So I'm going to fold them and just burnish those score lines. And I'll just do a few. I don't need to do all of them right now because we're going to decorate some of them. And unfortunately, some of the Christmas ephemera has already sold out for like the 3rd time. So now it's retired. They're actually not bringing back. Okay, so I have a few. So we'll just put the rest of these aside. I don't need to be doing those. So here are some of the ephemera that I dug out. Now, some of them are from this year, and some of them are from last year. This one is from this year. Now, I believe they are on the last chance, though. So if you want them, scoop them up. And it says low inventory, so don't hesitate if you want them. Get an order going. So these are the Joyful Images ephemera from a few years ago, or 2 years ago, I think. But look at all the cute ephemera that I never used, and there's some little tags here. There's an elk. Lots and lots of little teddy bear, like all kinds of things. So there's the paper, what's it called? It's called North Pole Delivery. And there are pages of all kinds of punch outs. So why don't we punch out some of these cute as a button little things off of there. There's some really cute little things on here. All right, so why don't we grab one of these and let's see what we have here. So we have some critters. I'm going to grab my snowflake stamp. Okay. So let's pop a snowflake on a block. Okay. So I need a piece of scrap paper because I may stamp off and I don't want it to get onto my desktop. So let's take our Balmy Blue, and I do have Pool Party out here too. Maybe I'll use Pool Party. Ugh, just stuck my finger in it. So I've got my, good God. Maybe I should just give up. Okay, so I have my Pool Party, and I'm just gonna stamp some, random snowflakes here and there. There. So let's see what we have. We have a truck. We have some critters. We have our greetings. Oh my Lord, what a mess. Okay. And 'tis the season. Now what I did with this one is I just used my blending brush and I put real red over the gold. It turned out really cute. So 'tis the season. Maybe I need something with a bit more color. Something like that. And then we have also the joyful sayings, which I'm not sure if these are retired or not, but let's drag these out as well, because there's all kinds of like little sayings and holiday wishes and things like that. So you can mix and match. And that's actually called that, mix and match. So holly jolly, we have a little truck. Super cute. So why don't we, let me grab some dimensionals here. So why don't we put some of these up on dimensionals? And this is totally like, this is how I roll, you know. I am not organized. I never claimed to be organized. What you see is what you get. And I probably should have stamped off those snowflakes, but hey, you know what? So holly jolly and our little truck. Isn't that cute? Let's see. So on the inside, I have the traditional labels stamp set. And I'm going to grab the to and the from. So to and from. I'm going to grab my Misty. So I've got my Misty Mini here. And I want it to go this way, like this way. So let me put that in there. I have to remember that I'm going this way, so let me find my words that are all sticking to whatever is back here. So to, oh my gosh, come on. And from. And that'll leave you a little bit of room, like if you wanted to make a little note. There. All right, so let's pick up our stamps. And I'm going to use the same stamp for every card. I won't necessarily do them all in Pool Party, but oops. Now, see, I got ink. Yeah, not a good idea. So I'm just going to take a microfiber cloth and wipe that off, because I don't want ink to get on the other side of my card, so I'm going to be a little bit more careful. There. So there's one little card. Isn't that cute? I do have a 1/8 of an inch punch that I will use on here. Or, you know, if you have a crocodile, you can use that too. So I'm just going to go in here like this. There. So now I have a little hole in there for my tag. So there's one. Okay, here's another one. This time I'm going to use Balmy Blue. But I'm going to stamp it off and see if I like that better. So let's get the Pool Party off of here. I'm just too lazy to go and wet my chamois, truth be told. Okay. So let's stamp it off. Yeah, I like that better. Stamp it off. Beautiful. Okay, so let's see. This is cute, a little storefront. And then what else do we have? Why don't we do this? So we have a little storefront and a little bird. So we'll glue the storefront to the front of the card. Oops, go this way. And we'll pop the little bird up on a dimensional. Super cute. Oh, and then we will pop this in here and give that a stamp. I should have stamped it before. Actually, what I should do, oops, we lost a thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, what I should do before I go any further is stamp all of them. Goes here. Not even a little bit straight. Okay. That looks pretty good. What I do is I have a little piece of window sheet and I just put some washi tape on it. And I'm going to pop that in here and I'm going to stamp on this piece of window sheet to see if it's straight. Now you can't really see because of the glare. Well, you sort of can see. But it looks straight, so I'm okay with that. So I'm going to wipe this off because I don't want to transfer ink anywhere. But I know that I'm good to go. And I do this a lot when I'm stamping cards and greetings and whatever. I think I need to re-ink my pool party. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch ink color to Secret Sea. And I'm going to stamp a bunch of them with the two in the from. And then that way I'll have them ready to go. Secret Sea. Secret Sea is my new black. I love the Secret Sea. See, it just stamps beautifully. Just pop that in there. So if you have a Stamparatus, you can use that, of course, or a Misty, or there's all kinds of stamping platforms out there that won't break the budget. I've seen them at Walmart. I've seen them at Michael's. Independent little craft shops have different ones, and some of them are quite expensive. Like this My Sweet Petunia one was a little bit outrageous, but there's tons of them out there that are very reasonably priced. There. So I have a few. That'll keep us going for a few minutes. I'm going to give that a quick clean so I don't transfer ink anywhere. And I'm going to stick a piece of cardstock in here so that my stamps don't stick to the photopolymer base plate thing. All right, so here we have another card. And I have a little, oh, why don't we do another snowflake? And I'm going to do it in the pool party. I love pool party. It is one of my favorite stamps, or colors, inks. Okay, stamp it off. And I'm just going to put one right in the middle, like that. There, that looks cute. All right. So let's have a critter. We'll have a critter on here this time. And maybe I'll chop up this Merry Christmas. I'm just going to cut that right like this. Put that there. and have this up here. Yeah, why don't we do that? Okay, so I'm going to pop this all up on dimensionals because if it's going on a gift, it's not going in the mail. It doesn't matter how elevated it is, right? So I'm just going to pop this on here. So that's going to go there. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I'll do it on the next one. I wanted to splatter some ink of Stella onto the card base. Oh, look at how cute. I'll just pop a couple of dimensionals on the middle part of the dog because the rest is going to be lifted up by that sentiment, so we don't really need to put them anywhere else. So let's just pop this here. And look at how cute. Super cute, super easy. There's another one. Oh, you know what I should have done? I'm going to move this over. Can I move it over? Let me see if I can get my punch in there because I forgot about that. I'm going to have to get creative with my punch. I'll do it this way. Blah. There. So my hole is behind, but that's okay. But I can put a string in there. But isn't that cute? So easy. Another one done. Okay, let's grab another one. Now this one is shiny because I didn't realize when I was cutting out, I'm going to get rid of that one. So some of these are actually the back piece of my cardstock package. So it's a bit shiny and I'm going to use it. I think that's okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Wink of Stella. So I want to get one that's somewhat juicy. I wonder if I should open a new one. Some of these are a little bit older and I'm not sure they have a lot of sparkle in them still. This one doesn't. But I'm going to wake it up. I'm going to give it a squeeze. Maybe. No, I think this one's a dead dog. Yeah, there's nothing in that one. Okay. Let's try this one. Ooh, here we go. Yeah, this one is pretty juicy. Ooh, yeah, it's juicy. Okay. Now, that is a lot of Wink of Stella. But it'll dry. It's alcohol based. It'll dry really quick. And you know what? It doesn't bother me that the splatters are bigger. I'm okay with that. There. I love splatter. I splatter on a lot of things. I don't really do it in my videos, but it's a personal, I like it. So I'm going to let that dry for a minute. I should have done my snowflakes first. Maybe we won't put snowflakes on this one. Let's find something fun. I feel like a Christmas tree. I wonder if I have a Christmas tree anywhere. Maybe there's one in here. Yep, right here. So I'm going to just pop a Christmas tree right on there. Let's grab some. I should have let that dry. I just smeared that, but it's going to be covered up, so I'm okay with that. So I'm going to pop my tree up on dimensionals. 2, 3. Now I'll pop one over. I didn't put those on very straight. I'm going to cover up my smeary ones that I smeared. There. And then Christmas Memories. Why don't we use that one? Because it picks up the blue in the tree. So we'll go ahead and use that one. I'm just going to put liquid glue on that. The tree is up. Put some liquid glue on there. There. Oh, I didn't do to and from. That's okay. Do it later. or you could just write a note, doesn't matter. There. Okay, let's have another one. I gotta tell you, this is the most productive I've been for the last 2 days. All right, thinking of you this Christmas. Do I want to splatter again? Why not? Why not? Why don't we? There, beautiful. In the meantime, I'm going to put some dimensionals on here. There, look at how pretty that is. So we just have a bit of glitter and the thinking of you. And the gold on the thinking of you really picks up the wink of Stella. So there's another one. So we're doing good. Here's another one. I'm really liking that wink of Stella, but let's do something different this time. Let me see. Let's see what else we have in this bag. My little bag of tricks. Oh, a poinsettia. I wonder if I have more of those. Yep, here's another one. Okay, I got my 2 poinsettias. Actually, it's probably all I need. 2 poinsettias, some greenery. That should do it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put Wink of Stella on my poinsettias. So pretty. All right, there's one. Did you know that if your Wink of Stella is dry, that you can actually add some rubbing alcohol into it and bring it back to life? Because there's a ton of that glitter sitting in the bottom of the inkwell in the pen. And I'm going to pop these guys up on dimensionals. I have a thought. I'm going to grab a block. Now, this may or may not work. I don't know. So I have a block, and I'm going to put some blue, balmy blue on there. I probably should have used Night of Navy, but we're going to try this. We'll see. And then I'm going to add some Wink of Stella to my blue here. And then I'm just gonna, I may or may not like this, we'll see. So it's uneven, but I guess that's the whole idea of a color wash, right? So let's have a look and see what that looks like. You know what? I like it. I don't mind that at all. So then we can have our little sprigs. All right, let's pop these guys up on dimensionals and see what they look like. So I'll just put 1 and 1. And I'm just going to place them. I'm not going to push them like down to solidify the glue. I'm going to just leave them like that for now. That looks all right. Super cute. I gotta remember to leave myself room. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and push those down. I'm gonna add a little bit of glue to the back of here. And just stick that in. And do the same thing here. So just go through your scraps, you know, your ephemera that you've been collecting over the last numerous years, and it's sitting in an envelope somewhere. And there's another card, like another one. Quick and easy. There's another one. So let's do one more. Here's a fun one. Why don't we use this? And I'm going to alcohol. I'm going to put a bit of alcohol on here. And I'll use my Wink of Stella brush. I'm going to do the same thing, but I've watered it down a little bit to see if we can get more mileage out of. And again, you know what? It's paper. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Ooh, kind of like that. Just a little bit of glitter. I like that. Very cute. Okay, so let's pop this guy up on dimensionals. There we go. That's cute. Ephemera. Here, let's have a look and see what we have. That is in a circle and it's small. I have a joy. Oh, this is off the traditional Christmas paper. That's cute. No, maybe we'll just use one of these. I think I'll just use Merry Christmas. Now these gold ephemera ones, again, don't forget, these are on clearance, so they're going to go. And when they're gone, I bet you. I don't think they'll bring them back. Now, if you peel the backing off of these, they become a sticker. So I'm just going to push this right there. Make sure it's straight. Isn't that cute? Done like dinner. There you go. So I hope this gives you some idea of how quick you can make little gift tags. Super cute. I'm going to clean this off before I have a nightmare on my hands. There we go. And I'm going to clean my brush because next time I use Wink of Stella, I don't necessarily want it to be blue. Let me grab my alcohol wherever I put that. And I'm just going to give that. I just got this at Sally Beauty. I think it was like $2. This little alcohol sprayer that I have. I just loaded it up with rubbing alcohol. There. So my brush is nice and clean now. I don't have to worry about transferring the blue ink with my Wink of Stella. That's nice and clean, so I can get rid of that. So just to give you an idea though, like how quick you can make little tags just using a 12 by 12. And you don't have to use white. I just happen to have this whole big pack of Willow White that I really haven't used. And you can get basic white in the 12 by 12, and I think you can still get the basic white thick in the 12 by 12 as well. So yeah, and then I have some 1/8 of an inch ribbon here that I found when I was cleaning out a basket, and I have some black twine. So yeah, quick and easy way to make little tags. Just score and cut, and you have all these little 3 by 3 little tags. So I hope that's given you some inspiration to get down and play with your paper. Here, let me move this out of the way, and I'll just bring out the ones that we've made really quick using leftover ephemera that I've been collecting over the years. So we have a tree, we have this cup of hot chocolate, we have these poinsettias, just using a cutout ephemera, and then this little dog from the Christmas delivery paper that's current right now. Actually, I think this might also be on the last chance list. I noticed that a lot of the Christmas catalog stuff is on the last chance at a discounted price. So if you wanted that paper, check and see if it's there on discount, because it may very well be. In fact, I'll check for you right now. So the Jolly Delivery Bundle is on last chance, but it is not discounted. The sweet is, oh, it's not discounted. The sweet is also not discounted. And the paper, yes, the paper is discounted. So if you want to scoop those up, you better get them while they're still around. So that's these. I hope I hope you've enjoyed this little video. I was trying to get myself motivated to get some creativity going in my brain. I think that trying to get all my Christmas quilts out in a timely manner just sucked everything right out of my head. So anyway, this has given me a little bit of inspiration to get going. I feel like I can get my mojo back now. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Dig out some 12 by 12 and make yourself some little tags. I'm going to let you go. See you soon. Merry Christmas to everybody. Bye.